All right, ride number 13. How did it go? I don't know yet. This is not good. This wasn't supposed to happen. The bike's been a little bit troublesome to start, and I've got it pinned to possibly three things. A, the bike's out of time, which I don't think it is. Or four things. The fuel mapping is screwed up. That's the second possibility. The third one, the obvious one, plugs. And then there's a fourth one. And that fourth one, I think, is what it is. It seems to be described. My friend calls them hot starters, but on each throttle body, when you look at the fuel mapping that they got for this bike, basically on cold startup, the bike's supposed to go to 1750 RPM right away, and then it'll hover there till it gets up to, I don't know, whatever temperature, and then it'll go to 2000 RPM. It'll find its stroke. Usually takes about 2 minutes. And then from there, it'll stay there until it gets to 41 Celsius, which then you're ready to run. And then from 41 Celsius, it'll idle at 1500 until you get about to 56 or whatever, and then it'll idle at 1350 until it gets, and it'll stay at 1350, which is kind of low, but that's where they had it set. Now, the problem I had today is when it's a cold startup, even though it's like 20 degrees out, okay, if you flood the bike right away, it's only a lead acid battery. It's like I only paid $85 for this battery, and this bike, if the battery gets below a certain point, you got no electronics whatsoever. I guess it's a safe, so you don't completely just burn out the battery. So I got the charger on there. I'll leave it on there for about 10 minutes, and then or whatever, and hopefully that'll be enough to start the bike. But I kind of got it started, but then I let off on the throttle too quick. It stalled, and you think I could restart it? I think I flooded it is what happened, so it wouldn't restart. But then I drained down my battery. Now, I was supposed to go out and freaking do my... renew my insurance today, and I was looking forward to this nice day ride. It's like the warmest day so far, nice and everything like that, and no, can't even get out of the yard. But I'd rather break down here than over there. So now I'm completely paranoid on my bike. It's going to leave me somewhere. Well, today technically didn't leave me anywhere because I didn't get out of the yard, so I haven't even... But yeah, it's my 13th run of the season, and, and this happens to me. So hopefully I'll get it going. I want to be riding today. I don't want to be wrenching on the bike. But like I say, everything I own is broken, breaking, or about to break down. It's just kind of the way life goes. No use taking it personal. It happens. But at least I don't have to tow it home. But I think what I'm going to do is, see, last night I was so ready for this ride. I got a full tank of fuel in there. If I have to get in there with a full gas tank, taking that off, that's a pain in the butt when it's full. I think I'll get it started again. But it started doing this last year. Now, I know these Triumphs are notorious for getting starting problems over time. I don't know what it is, but those little... it comes out from, I guess, some sort of like a little motor... whatever. I have to look at it in detail to see what it is, but each throttle body has these cables that come to it, and they crack right at the connection. They crack, and once they crack, then I guess that's what throws off all your stuff, because the bike runs superb other than that. And when I let off on the throttle, like let's say I'm in the higher RPM range and I let off the throttle, I don't get a whole bunch of, I get the odd pop from the pipe, so my plugs aren't, they sound like they're burning good. Because when you get a lot of popping, it means that you're getting, you're running too rich, right? If you get a lot of backfiring, like pop, 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 pop. I mean, you'll get that sometimes if the bike's really hot. You'll probably get that, but it is an indication that you have a backfire. If you're riding along and you're starting to hear backfires while you're riding, that means you probably got a dud plug. I don't have that. This thing pulls like a freight train, especially when it's a little bit cooler out. Like, it just pulls like a freight train. It's great. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that didn't just fry out my battery though. I just measured it. It's still showing 12.3 volts. So it's not at 10, so it's not dead. But that would really suck because that's $85 for the battery. It would kill my season. I have no money to put into this bike. I'm like so on the wire. It's amazing I got this far. But 13 runs, 130 runs in the season, that'd be okay, but not at 13. I got to get. But like I say, it takes about 10,000 kilometers to know your bike. my hunch is I'll leave the battery charger on here. I'll start it up. And I probably will be fine for, whatever. But it doesn't take much. It is a pretty strong motor, too, so I could see why it would kill a battery fast, especially a little lead-acid battery. But it's the only one they had in stock when I bought it, and I needed the battery, so this will be the second battery going through this bike, possibly. But thus is a sport bike, right? They are going to be a bit higher maintenance. I was hopefully they weren't going to be this higher maintenance, but I got to pull the tank, pull the air filter, air box off, and have a look at those cables, pricing those out. I can imagine they're going to be a gazillion dollars each, so I'll see if I can figure something out to fix them. But I'm going to leave the charger on there for, well, another 10 minutes or so, and then I'll try it. If I can get it started, I'll let it warm up. It seems like once you've warmed it up, you're fine for your restart, even if you let it cool down a bit. But you have to basically, the computer isn't regulating the startup. You are with the throttle, and if you overdo it, if you pogo the throttle or blip the throttle, it goes up and then it floods, and then when it's cold like that. When it's warm, it's not so. It restarts no problem when it's warm, but yeah, that first startup of the day, it's just. But like I say, the first 10,000 kilometers or 6,000 miles or 10,000 miles on a bike, whichever, that's when you learn all this stuff, right? Is it going to be doing this? Is this going to become this is the first time it's done it like this, but this is the second time. I remember last year in Maniwaki, that's probably when it broke. It was then, because that was the first time it did that, and I had a hard time restarting when it was really hot. So now I know if I'm going to stop somewhere, I stop for at least 15-20 minutes, restart no problem. Or I stop less than 5 minutes, restart again, I'm okay. But it seems like there's that, I guess when you stop and you sit, the engine gets a little bit hot and then it gets cooler. But whatever my starting problems are, I guess I'll have to figure it out the hard way through trial and error, and hopefully I can get a season out of this bike. I mean, all that time, effort, money, and and selling it. I mean, obviously you sell a bike that's broken, you can't get any money for it. And I know some people sell the bike, buy a car, but for what I would get for the bike, I mean, you never get your money back, right? So it wouldn't be enough to buy a car that I wouldn't be doing the same thing too. So, but other than that, the bike runs fine. So I think this is just something, okay, you got to breathe a little, don't panic, don't freak out. This is not the first bike that's ever broken on me. Yes, they all break down. No matter, I don't care how mechanically sound your bike is, it's going to leave you somewhere. If you're lucky like me, it only leaves you at home, you're okay. But then when you want to go on trips, you're always paranoid, is this thing going to leave me somewhere? Had a hunch something like this was going to happen. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll be paying my insurance today. I want to, because I just want to get it done. But then if there's a major problem with this bike, I don't know. I can't afford to take it to a mechanic. So if I can't fix it myself, that ends my season until I got money. So think about that. It's like 13 runs. That's it. That's all I got. I don't have any more money to do anything else. So it's like, geez, I got to figure this out. But that's also what makes you a good mechanic, is being poor, because then you have to fix everything yourself. But I hate fixing things. I just want stuff to work. That's all I want. But is what it is. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Kind of sucks. I will get it running. I don't think I will take it very far today. I'll get it running. I'll bring it back home, see if it restarts. Then I'll head out, pay the insurance. But I was looking forward to going and just taking the bike, but I think what I'm going to do is going to borrow my dad's truck, because I don't want to deal with that out there somewhere. Like, okay, yeah, fine, it restarted. I want to do about 10 restarts, stop and restarts. Like yesterday I stopped and restarted probably 4 or 5 places. So maybe my battery was a little bit weak this morning, and it wasn't enough to, like, it rolled over fine. So I think I flooded it, and usually I don't, but this time I did. So I'll try it, see what happens. Wish me luck. I'll keep you updated.